Next month, Roundtable next week. No. Next month, we'll go into props and costumes. I was sort of going to include it this time, but truthfully, I looked at my props and costumes area and I'm like, oh, it's like 12 totes. I don't feel like bringing those on a rainy day. So it's going to be like,
It's going to rain too.
it'll probably be snowing. You know what? That's okay. No. Props and costumes, in my opinion, are one of the most fun parts about being a Cub Scout leader. Because I can put on silly stuff and be silly. And I don't have to worry about what the boys think, because they're having fun. I do that at work, they wonder about me, and my career possibilities go down, and it's just not a good thing. So. All right. How many of you heard about the National Scouting Alumni? 3. Rocking. Okay, that's not surprising. Truthfully, it really is not surprising. The Scout Alumni, National Scouting Alumni push has actually been going on for about 9 months now. And in our group, we've heard 5 people. That's why I bring it to you right now. The intention of the Boy Scouts of America is to reach out to the millions of adults who have been involved in scouting at some point during their life. Whether it was as a youth, as an adult, whatever the case may be. We're trying to bring them back into the fold because truthfully, Boy Scouts, and for that matter, you know, parents who've been den leaders, whether it be a mom or a dad and such, have a huge variety of experiences and capabilities and can help Boy Scouting immeasurably. The program is about building character and skills, and what better than to reach out to millions of people that have the skills and believe in scouting. So the object here, go to the scouting.org website. There's an alumni section now. There's more information that's put out every single, almost every single week now. Plus they put out a monthly newsletter talking about alumni things going on, how you can help, maybe information. They have a place for you to put in your scouting stories from when you were a youth. All these areas being put together. The knot in the bottom corner is of the alumni award knot, where you are actually reaching out to your non-scouting friends to remind them of their scouting past. Pretty cool. It's a great opportunity too to get your boys involved too, because a lot of the boys, their grandfather was a scout, their dad was a scout, maybe their mom was a Girl Scout. Don't be exclusionary. Bring them all in. All these folks have experiences and they all have skills. They all have resources for you. When you reach out to your parents in your pack and say, you know what, we need a new activity. And one guy goes, you know what, I'm an amateur radio guy. Ding, ding, ding. I have a resource. Come on over. Or this guy over here says, well, you know, I carve birds out of wood. Ding, 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 whittling chip. Or this mother over here goes, well, you know, I make these cakes that actually walk and talk. Really? It's great, you know. There are all kinds of opportunities. Check out with your parents. They all have something they can do. And this is a great opportunity to bring into a family type atmosphere. Friends of Scouting we talked about. We won't be leader of this. But it's going on right now. The object here is 100% participation. Does that mean 100% of everybody, everybody in your unit gives money? No. Would that be great and help scouting a lot? Yes. The object is to support scouting. Even if they're turning in a card that says $0, it's saying, I believe in scouting, I support scouting. They give $1, great. $5, great. Whatever the case may be. Everything counts, including just the statement of, I believe in scouting. So make sure you pass that along to your units. It's very important. Camps. So, I've got several slides about camps, because there are lots of opportunities here. Number one, Camp Snyder right here. Camp Snyder has started taking registration on things like Residence Camp, Weeblo Camp. They've got a new one called the Tiger Pass this year. The Tiger Pass is you're paying by the day, because they realize that as the tiger goes to camp, so a parent must go too. And not all parents want to say, I want to take a whole week's vacation to go to camp. I don't blame them. Yeah, not all of us can do that. This allows you to take your boy as a tiger to camp and do great activities. It's going to be very tiger and parent-centric. You know, I mean, let's face it. Parents are like, oh, it's camp, I really don't want to do things. These are things for both of them to do and have fun doing. So this is a great opportunity. There's more information on the Boy Scouts-NCAC website on this. Pirate Days is going to be at Camp Snyder. Reggie Calhoun is the new camp master there. He's retooled it all. It looks like it has a great set of programs. The early bird discounts, I think, run out first week of February. So be sure to be mentioning this to your families. Start planning. Appoint a summer camp coordinator and beat the vacation rush. People are starting to make their summer vacation plans now, if they haven't already. Now, we have a great camp here in Goose Creek. Come on down, Dave. He's going to wear his second hat and talk to you as the camp director for Goose Creek's day camp. So
yeah, again, Dave Cardi, I wear a few hats. This year I am taking over for Priscilla Martinez as the Goose Creek District Day Camp Director. This will be my 4th year at camp. I was 2 years, I was a full-time walking dead leader, so I was trudging around the hot fairgrounds. I did 2 years as camp registrar, and this year I've stepped up to be the director. This year's camp dates are a little bit different. There was a board back here, some nice some pre-design up next to them, there's some material. We are offering the 2 camps this year. We have the regular day camp, Monday through Friday, and also the twilight camp, Monday through Thursday. So we are offering both camps. There's forms for each one of them back there. We are getting this information out early. Okay, this is January. You need to be thinking about camp now. You need to be talking to your units about camp. You need to be getting in front of your units ASAP and say, I need a unit coordinator, because the camps, you sign up by a coordinator. You don't go, it's not like Snyder, you don't go online, sign up your particular boy and you, and they offer you're good to go. You get your pack together and you sign up for them as a pack. There's a little bit more involved with it for the day camp. Okay? Same thing with both of these. So there's plenty of material back here. What's different is the dates. We are almost a full month earlier than last year. We are the first camp in the district. We're a week out of school. So the kids get out of school, I think June 8th or around that area. They get a week out and you get them off to camp. We're beating the heat. We are beating the vacations, and we are beating the sports. Okay, so we are getting these kids to camp. There's no reason now for parents not to have their kids to camp. Registration is not yet open yet, but again, that should be coming up pretty soon. Get your unit coordinator together. Okay, that's the first thing you want to do. If you have any questions, again, I'm the camp director. I have some temporary cards back here you can grab. It has all my contact information on it. And also, Rumsey Light is in the audience. Rumsey is our program director. This is his 4th year as program director. He's the one in charge of the success of the camp. I'm just out there doing the PR work, okay? He's in the success of the camp. Now, quick note, I'm going to turn it over to Rumsey. If you want somebody to come into your unit and talk your parents up, talk your boys up, really put on some pizzazz, give me a call, and I will come out to your unit. I'll bring the boards, bring some props, I'll get them excited. I'll bring out some registration forms, I will come to your units. We want to get these boys out to day camp. This is especially true for your Tigers, Wolves, and to some degree Bears, okay? Other camps, like I say, Snyder's great, but out there for 4 years, you want to look into those also. But for your younger boys, this day camp is going to be awesome, okay? Same thing, archery, BBs, crafts, science, and we got some special things going on. So, Rumsey?
One of the nicest things that they did not mention, camp is at Morgan Park. So from this location right here, you can be there in 5 minutes. So it's right here, nice and centralized in Loudoun County. And there's a lot of mothers and parents in here, but that's one of the biggest things I've always heard. Why not have camp right after they're out of school so the parents can kind of ease into the summer? Have them for a week. Brian mentioned he learned a lot from his failures. He also learned a lot from a lot of adults who volunteered a lot of their time. You guys volunteer a lot. Here's one of the nice things about being the programs director. I usually figure out all the crafts and have all those. How'd you like to be a den leader and you just show up to a den meeting and all the crafts are there, all the kids are there. You don't have to necessarily plan it all, buy it all, and then figure it all out. That's my job, unfortunately, and I enjoy doing it. So I have to figure out how many BBs, and that's one of the neatest things. We shot like over 30,000 BBs last year. We've had people that come, we have had Pats from South Whiting come all the way out to our camp because they've gone over to camps in Fairfax. And unfortunately in Fairfax, you can't shoot BBs, and there's very little places you can do archery or slingshots. Your boys will have a great time. But to have that great time, we need to have volunteers. So if you, not just you, think about the parents you may have.
Yes, think about the parents you have.
Do you have any grandparents that are NRA certified or want to spend some time? My son's grandfather was on a shooting sport. Who can believe this? I was talking to him. He actually took his .22 gun on a school bus to participate in a shooting activity at school. That's unheard of nowadays. We can't even take a butter knife probably to school or on the bus. But this is a nice opportunity for if you have grandparents of your scouts to come out and spend the day helping out. They love to do that. The kids love and look up to that. So we need people volunteering for BBs, archery, slingshots, crafts. We actually have boys who enjoy doing crafts. We try and pick crafts that boys will enjoy to do and be proud of and have something they can take home. So if you have an interest or you know someone, as Davis mentioned, we'll come out to your PAC meeting and talk to the parents to explain and answer questions. But if you also have people who are interested, please send them our way so we get them trained and get them on board. We have people who really, really enjoy doing this because it's the fun time. You get to do the fun things with boys. You don't have to, they will inadvertently get to some training and to learn some stuff and some camaraderie. But they're doing all those neat and fun things for an entire week with their buddies, and hopefully it won't be in the heat.
So if I may, so we'll be doing I'm going to ask just for a few minutes at every roundtable going into this. So I just want to give you a little bit more information. It's our plan by the next roundtable to have the entire agenda set. So when you come to roundtable, you will know exactly what we're doing at camp and what your boys will be earning at camp. So you can take that back to your parents. Be looking for some information coming out soon. Our camp registrar is here. She's taking over my duties, Stacy Knowles. So we have her, so she'll be getting information for her, and you'll be seeing the communications ramping up. You think I'm bad on Friends of Scouting for communication, you ought to see me during day camp.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thanks, guys. Use this as an opportunity to keep the boys engaged. Boys who go to summer camp of one type or another stay in scouting longer and also tend to have a greater time doing it. Okay? So, also, leaders, this is your opportunity too for some parents who want to be out with some boys, with their boys. Leverage them. You don't necessarily have to have a bunch of tan shirts running all the people from your pack to these units. They can take, regular parents can go. In fact, I'm encouraging regular parents to go. It's a great opportunity for them to see and to sort of help and serve. So that's our local day camp. So we've seen Snyder, which has a Webelos program, Tiger program, and in between. But it's obviously down Haymark, so that's probably the only downside of that. But they are putting a huge emphasis on overnighters. We've got our Goose Creek, which is very close by. It is a day camp methodology. The regular day camp is during the daylight hours, ending around 4 o'clock.
8 to 4.
8 to 4. The twilight starts around 6:30, and actually runs until it gets dark enough to where it's time to go home. And they are shooting like crazy. Twilight is great for those of us who can't take a week off, but we can get our boys to camp and have fun being out there. It's a great opportunity. And then lastly, there's Goshen. Goshen is Webelos. Nobody younger than Webelos. The object of this is a Boy Scout camp. 2.5 hours down the road. It's a sleepover camp for 6 days, 5 nights, or is it 7 days? 6 nights. Somewhere in there. It's a while. This is the closest the boys are going to get to Boy Scout camp without actually going to Boy Scout camp. Highly recommended, especially for any Webelo 2s you have in your pack. If they have not been to Goshen by the time they get to be Webelo 2s, this is where they should go. Because the next year, when they make their crossover, they may be going back that way as a Boy Scout. So it's good to have that kind of adventure type. Camp registration on that is coming up here really soon too. This is good for them too to be away from the little boys. This is Webelos being away from the tigers, the wolves, and the bears. They get to be big boys and do big boy stuff. They get to go on hikes. They get to do lots of shooting, and they get to sort of choose the stuff that they want to do. Big deal. All right, so remember, you need to get somebody that's looking at this for your pack soon, like this week.